All right.
So you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Here we are. It's episode 10.
Episode 10.
We made it to double
Finally.
digits.
Yeah.
We did it. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I started to question. I was like, "Oh man, you came to visit. We didn't do the live show.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't do the fireside chat at the fireplace that I haven't had inspected yet to make sure that I can have a fire in there
Yeah.
and not burn down my house." And then, just busy time.
It is.
Well, let's jump right into it then.
Yeah.
NHL season's off to a nice start. I see Jack Eichel ripping it up.
Yeah. The Knights have scored a point in every game so far, so that's working.
Yep. Except Mark Stone is out
Again.
Yeah. And they know that like the long-term injury reserve thing is like not a thing anymore, right? Like they know that they did they read the memos from the league?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't get that one.
They're like, all right, it's about time for Mark to sit down for 6 months and then rejoin us in April.
So I guess he's just day to day. With
okay.
Undisclosed whatever.
Okay.
All it said was Stone suffers injury. It didn't look like he was suffering on the goal he scored or the assist he had in the game, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, I've been around a lot of people who, are just suffering, and then all of a sudden they can do amazing things. So you should see my kids. They, they need the nurse all day.
Oh yeah.
And then it's time to go out to recess and they're doing parkour.
Boom. So Mark Stone's faking it.
I'm not saying he's faking it. I'm just
faking it like a fourth grader.
I'm not sure what's going on. Like it just seems kind of sus, as the kids say.
It's chopped.
Yeah.
It's chopped, Unc.
Brooke, yeah. Did you watch that SNL sketch?
I did. I
was like, I was into it. It was a really good sketch, but like I'm watching it and I'm like, man, I should show this to my kids and see what happens, because like it was fairly clean. Like I felt like I could get away with playing it in school, whatever. And then they brought the Trump in, and I was like, man, I don't know, because I don't want to get accused of anything,
Yeah.
Like it was cracking me up to that point, because I was like, this seriously is how some of my kids, like, they'll have a conversation. I'm just like, what the hell are you talking? Like, what?
There were kids. We went to the park on Saturday, and there were kids like probably like second grade, like first or second grade kind of thing, maybe third, but no higher than third grade. And they were like right when we got there, they were like up on the playground and they were kind of just talking to each other. And they were like 6, 7.
Oh my goodness.
And just kept saying 6, 7 and doing that. Like they weren't like playing a game. They weren't commenting on anything. They just kept saying that, and then they'd run around. And I was like, oh man, so at
the beginning of the year, it was like half the class. And now I've gotten it down to like, I think there's one of my kids who still like somehow finds the humor in it. There was no humor to begin with.
Yeah.
I like pretty much immediately at the beginning of the year said that was banned, and it would cost you like 6, 7 months of recess. And then I was like, you know what? Just embrace it, whatever, run with it. So then I started doing it. The more I started doing it, the less they kept doing it.
Oh yeah.
It's not cool anymore. This old
now
dude's doing
now
it.
It's now it's chopped.
Yeah. So today the like one remaining holdout who's still trying to make 6, 7 a thing, he's doing it. And one of my kids is like, didn't you ban that like at the beginning of the year? I said, it doesn't seem to matter what I do. You know, you guys are going to do what you do. And then one of my other kids said, like, why he keeps saying it? Like, make him stop. I'm like, I'm not going to make him stop. Like, he'll stop eventually. Like, he'll get the memo. Like, you guys will all peer pressure him into, you know, like at some point when he's sitting alone on the playground.
Right.
Because
No
nobody
one
wants to
listen to
play
this
with the
shit.
6'7" kid.
That's right.
Like, you know, he'll get the point. Anyway, oh shit.
Freedom of
Speaking
speech, kids.
6'7".
Yeah.
How many points the Red Wings have?
So yeah, I was actually just looking at, well, to continue on the Golden Knights hot start, I was looking at Jack Eichel and I wanted to remind myself whether he had signed his contract extension or not.
Yeah, he did last year, right?
He signed an extension this October.
Or this October.
This current year is the last year in his current contract. So the next year it starts at 13.5 AAV. Yeah. So he's already paying that one off, which is nice for the Knights. Dylan Larkin. So this is my segue to the Red Wings.
Yeah.
Dylan Larkin is not far behind him. He's tied for third with Willie Nylander at 11 points through 6 games.
That's not a bad clip.
Not a bad clip at all, especially at the bargain price of, what does Dylan make? Like 8.5 or something like that. So much cheaper points there. But yeah, the Red Wings, everybody's been shitting on the Yzer plan. Oh, you know, when's it time for them to fire Stevie? When are they gonna, you know, get off this? First of all, he took over in 2019. I'm just gonna get on my soapbox here for just a second, just because we are on top of the Atlantic right now, which may not last very long, but I'm gonna gloat while I can. Took over in 2019 before the 1920 season, which you might remember as the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
The first season shortened by COVID.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Our previous three first round draft picks were just garbage. Like we had traded away players. Zetterberg had to retire early. Datsuk went to Russia to be with his family. There was nothing in the cupboards. There's nothing for Yzerman to work with. And it takes a while to rebuild a team from nothing when you have no assets. Like you can speed run a rebuild if you've got assets to be able to trade away and get high draft picks and that kind of thing. Or if you are one of Gary Bettman's favorite little boys and you win the lottery all the time. And so, yeah. So even though we had the worst record in the league, some of the worst points percentage in league history that year, it was awful. We drafted 4th, which was nice because we got Lucas Raymond, who's turning out pretty well, better than the 3 other players in front of him. They're drafted in front of him. But yeah, now we're 5-1. So who's laughing now? How you guys feel about the Yzer plan? It's coming around. So we've got 3 rookies on the team that made the team out of training camp. So 3 20-year-olds, and they're lighting it up already. One's a defenseman, getting a lot of time, getting penalty kill time, second pair minutes. We've got Emmett Finney, a 7th round draft pick, I think 2 years ago, and he's on the top line. He's playing left wing with Dylan Larkin.
That's where you get your value.
And he got 2 goals the other night. One was an empty netter, but it wasn't like an easy empty netter. It was like he had to hustle for the puck and kind of shoot it from outside of the zone, and it went in. So yeah, so we lost. We got booed off the ice. The crowd booed the team off the ice in the first game, the home opener against the Canadiens. And then Coach Todd McClellan basically told the team, when are you guys gonna you just gonna do this forever? What are we gonna do here? And basically just kick the team in the ass. I mean, hey, I got around.
Is
And
he
now they've
available?
responded.
Is he available to come motivationally speak to my class that way?
Yeah.
Because like 9 weeks in, and I'm just like, guys, at some point you got to get it. Like I can't, I can't get in your head and make the choice for you. You got to start.
Write to him. You never know. Good.
Maybe I'll send him an email. Hey, I like
Yeah.
what you did with the Red Wings.
Let me see. When's he in Columbus? Maybe he'll stop. Oh, that's a home game.
I was gonna say should be next month sometime.
December 4th. That's a Thursday.
Yeah, December. That's right.
December 4th. So send him an email. Be like, hey,
Shout.
December 4th, maybe
Hey,
after morning skate, come visit
my classroom. Tell some kids, when are you gonna get your shit together?
You guys just gonna do this all year?
Just gonna do this all year, or are we gonna,
Are you done?
Like we don't get a lottery pick, guys. I don't.
So yeah, the Red Wings on top of the Atlantic. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah.
Carolina finally lost the game, so that's nice. So they're tied at 10 points.
Who
Canadians are also tied at 10 points.
Who'd they lose to? Who'd Carolina lose to?
Was it the Knights? Was it
yeah,
Vegas?
it was Vegas. Yeah.
Nice. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Vegas. 5-0-2 is nuts. That's
5-0-2. It was looking rough because the first two of the first three went to overtime.
Okay.
And it was just like, oh, great. Like
you're squeaking them out.
We're squeaking out points, but we need the two, not the one,
Right.
Like, one's better than none, but
yeah.
Yeah, and then just kind of started getting things firing up. Marner scored his first 2 goals the other night.
There you go.
Then Stone got injured in that game, so we'll see. But
wait till you get the playoffs, and then Marner will get you 1 assist.
Goaltending is going to be interesting because Aiden Hill is the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then our backup, I'm not too confident in, but whatever. Because Samsonov left in the off season, so he was our number 2, and he was fairly competent. But now we have Schmid, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw when I saw that Aiden Hill went out. I saw the backup's name and I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
and then,
I don't know either. Like, I'm not.
And then they said they're probably going to call up whoever it is from the Silver Knights.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, and then signed Carter Hart to a pro tryout deal. Carter Hart is one of the guys we talked about on the earlier episode where we discussed the Team Canada junior hockey sexual assault trial and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the individuals involved in that. So when I first saw the Knights signed him to that deal, I was like, oh, this is like not the kind of guy we bring in.
Right.
But I saw it's like a tryout deal. And I'm a fan of giving people second chances, shot at redemption, whatever.
Sure.
My biggest hang up with him is that he is in his late 20s and hasn't played for 16 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I
think they said it will have been 2 full years by the time he's
almost
eligible.
2 full years by the time. Yeah. So, I mean, how in shape, how sharp can you be at this point? I'm sure that he's done some training and working out and stuff. Obviously, he's not, just sitting on his couch eating Cheetos and drinking beer, Ben Roethlisberger style.
Wow. Another notable sexual assaulter. Wow.
Well, in both cases, alleged, because
Alleged.
you know,
Alleged. I don't think this one was alleged. I think it was like pretty well confirmed that it happened, but acquitted of
acquitted.
criminal
Yeah,
wrongdoing.
of criminal. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Kind of parse words here.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out in a few more months because I think didn't they say he still has to wait until like February is when he's eligible or something like that?
No, they're eligible to come back and play December 1st in the NHL.
December 1st.
Yeah, they can come back and play AHL games
for
November
some reason
15th.
I thought it was later than that, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see, but
yeah. I'm surprised I haven't heard of any like backlash from the fans. Because I remember, I don't know if it was Hart or somebody else that was potentially going to sign with Carolina. Carolina was kind of kicking the tires on somebody. Maybe we'll give them a tryout or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And the fans like started a petition, and basically the team backed off. It's like, yeah, no, we're not interested. So we don't go down
Vegas fans, we're pretty like we care about winning.
Yeah.
I mean, not at all costs, but to the extent that, like, I mean, the guy's been cleared of whatever charges, the NHL's bringing him back.
Yeah.
They said he's good to go. Well, not good to go, but he's okay to, bring back to the league. So
I still stand by the stance of like, you know what? Like, yeah, second chances, sure. But you've clearly done this thing. You participated in this thing, this horrific thing. You don't deserve a chance to play in the NHL. Like, there's a criminal code of conduct, and then there is the NHL, like, what is it? Like, the team sort of discipline code, like code of conduct, how you conduct yourself. And then there's just basic, humanity.
yeah.
On top of that, but like, I would be on one of, and I don't think the Red Wings have shown interest in any of these guys, but I would be one of the people like signing a petition and protesting. Like, no, like, we don't need to sign one of these guys. Like, they had their chance to play in the NHL. They did this thing before any of them played in the NHL. But like, and I'm not saying like they should never be able to work again, but like, I don't know. I think they've lost the privilege of playing in the NHL, making NHL money, receiving NHL glory, that sort of thing.
I don't know. I think that that could put you into like the slippery slope of the Colin Kaepernick type of, what happened with him where he got unofficially blackballed from the NFL, and how he ended up suing. I mean, I feel like he had a legitimate case. Like,
oh yeah, for
he
sure.
didn't do anything, he didn't do anything criminal or immoral.
Right.
But still, like, you could see these guys, trying to say, well, they're blackballing me because of something that I didn't even do. And it's like, well, maybe a jury said that you didn't do it, but
yeah,
the tape and the judge said, or whoever said it, you didn't do it. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I mean, if he's truly not that kind of person, then we shouldn't have any issues.
Right.
If he shows himself to be that kind of person, does it again, or is alleged to have done it again or whatever, you know,
He's got to be
then
squeaky clean from here on
then
out.
yeah.
Really.
Oh yeah. Oh
There's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
There's not a
He
third
can't.
chance after this.
I mean, you don't go. Yeah, like if I'm him, his agent, his family, whatever, dude's not going to a party. He's not hanging out at bars without like a. Basically, he needs a handler the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
just
Yeah.
just plain and simple.
I
mean,
honestly, I kind of wonder if the team, if that's going to be kind of like maybe not an official contract piece, but like the team's going to be like, also you're going to have this special assistant to Carter Hart, and
yeah,
this person's going to follow you everywhere and keep you out of shit.
yeah.
Like and report back if you slip up or whatever. So
I mean, and honestly, like more teams should have somebody, who it like not necessarily like one-on-one supervision, but like that there's somebody who's checking in on these players regularly from a social standpoint to make sure that they're, staying out of trouble, they're making good choices, like staying out of situations that could even give the appearance of impropriety. Because that's the big problem with public figures is, it's not even necessarily that he had to have done something. It's just the fact that you were in the vicinity of it, like any player.
Even in this specific situation, there were a lot of other players that were part of the group text of like, come join this thing, or come to this room. And some of them even like allegedly had like gone to the room and like, whoa, what the hell? And then like left immediately. And so that's another piece of all that too, is like, you want to avoid having been even in the room. Like,
but I mean, you need to be that guy on the group text. He's like, dude, guys, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
like
this maybe not
right. It's maybe not a good idea. I think hopefully by the time you are a professional at anything, you're able to be trusted, without having to have a handler. But this.
But a lot of these guys they become professionals at 18, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah,
I mean, I was a complete dipshit.
I know.
18, 19, 20 years old.
No, I know. I wasn't
and
prepared.
If I had millions of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would have been a much bigger dipshit.
Yeah.
So well, we'll see, I guess. The thing, I've been waiting for this moment. I knew he was going to sign somewhere. He was really good. He's a very good goalie. He's very good at hockey, and he can help a team win. And so I've just been waiting for the moment where a team decides, you know what, the saves that we're going to get out of this guy, or for the other ones, the goals that we're going to get out of this guy, the blocks that we're going to get out of this guy, are worth more to our franchise than the crowd, the small chatter down 4 stories down from our front office, complex that we can barely hear, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I think the only team that maybe should avoid these guys altogether would be the Blackhawks. Maybe Chicago should sit out of the, having.
Yeah, they're definitely going to, because there was even a thing a couple of years ago where, was it last year or the year before, where Corey Perry was playing for the Blackhawks.
I think it was the year before.
They canceled his contract.
It was just last year, wasn't it? Because he was with Edmonton 2 years ago, right? Anyway, it doesn't.
It was the year that he went to Edmonton. It was the year that he ended up in Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah. He started that year in Chicago.
So it would have been 2
And then there were all the rumors, or the the meme kind of thing about like Connor Bedard's mom and all that kind of stuff. But and then and then the GM did a press conference, was like, sorry, I wasn't more forthcoming with the reasons or anything like that, but we acted quickly because of all of the previous, stuff with our franchise. We didn't want to even have the the ability for anybody to even say that we were trying to cover it up or trying to think of what to do. We immediately made a decision to like let this player go, which is interesting. I mean, speaking of that whole thing, this isn't on our agenda, but Joel Quenneville's back, head coach of the Blackhawks during that whole thing, during the Kyle Beach sex assault case back then.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people villainized Jonathan Taves. A lot of people villainized the players in the locker room. But from my point of view, like, the coach has a leadership responsibility, like, officially within the organization. The GM also does. And they're the ones that were covering those things up. I mean, Stan Bowman was the GM, and he's GM in Edmonton now. So, like, these guys are all getting, you know, they kind of doing the Louis C.K. Oh, I'm going to step out for two years, and then I'm going to decide I'm coming back, and, you know, now they're back.
Which really like calls into question the integrity of the NHL. Like, at the point you're going to have these conditions for these players,
right?
But you're not going to have the same conditions for coaches and GMs that have been involved in similar situations or covered up similar situations. Like,
right.
And to me, covering up is on the same level. I mean,
yeah, I mean, because now you're a party to it. Really,
you not only like knew what was going on, you didn't do anything to stop what was going on, and you didn't do what you should have done, which was, I mean, bare minimum, you fire the person for doing something,
right?
That's potentially criminal,
right?
And
I think they did. I think they fired him after that season.
But
they basically didn't want to cause a disruption during that Stanley Cup run.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and they didn't. Yeah. They didn't do it like when they found out things were going on. They're like, well, kind of like Jerry Sandusky at Penn State, I guess. Where it was like they didn't fire him. They didn't. The athletic director had the opportunity to, look into these allegations, and because apparently it was like some unkept secret or something like that, whatever, it's absurd. So
what are you doing? Like,
if you're a GM, if you're a manager, a coach, whatever, and about these things, you have a responsibility to handle it as just as much as letting the league do it. But the league, I mean, like, so these players have all these conditions and, reinstatement stuff, whatever. But a GM or a coach who, covered up or refused to acknowledge even whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, go get a job,
Yeah.
Just take a year off and, lay low a little bit and then come back.
Right. When people have, most people have forgotten about it or whatever.
Yeah. And there's no reinstatement conditions on them. Like that, there's no GM tryout contract or, like you have to start as a talent scout or something, like it's just now come back to the top echelon of your profession and act like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we at least get like a 1980s like sexual assault training video or something? Like
make them work for like a really shitty like ECHL team, or like you have to go to the Toledo Walleye for 3 years and then you
not a shitty ECHL team. Toledo Walleye are awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Red Wings. That's Red Wings affiliate.
I know. I was just throwing shade because it's Toledo, but
yeah, I think it's funny that the Red Wings and the Tigers minor league affiliates are both in Toledo. It's just funny. It's like, oh yeah, you guys got Toledo in the Toledo War, and we got the UP, but we're still going to put our minor league teams there.
Well, I mean, you're not going to put your minor league franchise in, the the UP. So,
or like Flint.
or
Toledo's better than that.
well, they did. I mean, they did have they still have the Lansing Lugnuts.
Oh, I don't.
Not a thing
the
anymore.
Lugnuts
I know
are a thing.
I don't know whose affiliate they are though.
Where are
but
they?
Yeah, I thought they were a Red Wings affiliate, like
Lansing
Low.
Lugnuts. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
the Athletics.
Or sorry, yeah, because they're baseball. Hello, Tim. Yeah,
False start at home.
I'm not awake.
They were never the. Yeah, interesting. They were
never
the
the
Lansing Lugnuts were never the Tigers affiliate. They've been the Athletics since 2021. Before that, they were the Blue Jays affiliate. Before that, they were the Cubs affiliate. The Royals, Padres.
Wow, nobody wants
Cleveland.
Lansing.
The Cleveland before they were the Guardians. The Boston Red Sox way back. Wow, they've been around since the 50s. That's crazy. Interesting.
I would love to know more about how like minor league baseball, hockey work. You know what I'm saying? Like from an operational standpoint, because like you see like what you're just reading, like they were this team's affiliate and blah blah blah. You know, like what happens when they change affiliates? Do like all those players leave that that minor league club and like
relocate to
their new affiliate, or what? Like how does that work? You know, how do you change affiliates? Like that would be an interesting like deep dive.
That would be an interesting one.
Kind of.
I know the Red Wings
thing.
The Red Wings have like a very full control over Grand Rapids. The AHL affiliate. Like the assistant general manager is the general manager of the Griffins. So the AGM of the Red Wings is the GM of GR. And but funny enough, they actually just hired the coach from the Toledo Walleye because he had been doing such a good job there. But I don't think they have anybody that's like directly staffed, employed by the Red Wings that has that sort of same crossover position. What the hell just happened with that? What did I do? Do I do that?
I'm doing it. That like nothing happened.
6-7, you do that and you get some balloons or something? Like what was that?
I don't. It was just
like
random
fingers
balloons just came up.
What the fuck?
It's like 2020. 2020 Zoom filter.
Well, you know. Anyways, well, all right. I don't know. That just disrupted my train of thought. So, should we move on to the NHL?
We should. World Series starts Friday, guys. Guess who's there?
And you did not have faith in your team.
The Los Angeles Dodgers. I did not have faith.
Wow. And
I did not. They brought the brooms to the Brewers, and I thought. I mean, like, so the Brewers took the first pitch of the series yard. So it looked like, okay, well, this is going to be competitive, you know? Right. And then it just turned not competitive real fast.
Yeah.
And then, well, game 2 was fairly competitive. It ended up, I think that one was a 1-run game. But game 4, my goodness. And you'll have to wait until the World Series, I guess, to hopefully see another game like that. Shohei, 6 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, and then hits 3 home runs. Like
crazy. That's just. I read when I was reading
that
about
is
it.
Nuts. Like,
yeah, I was reading about that game today, and because I didn't watch any of these games, I was like, I've tuned out of baseball since the Tigers are out. Just kind of keeping up with it, looking at the scores and stuff. But I was reading about that game. There are like 1,500 something players who've pitched 10 strikeouts in a postseason game. There's like 500 players who have hit 3 home runs in a postseason game. He is the only one to do both of those things.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is insane. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like 10 strikeouts is impressive. 3 home runs is impressive. You're talking about like either one of those things. You're talking about like, wow, that's like an all-timer kind of game. Like we were talking about Tarek Skubal throwing 14 strikeouts in the one game that he pitched.
Yeah.
And like you're talking about almost hitting that mark. And then also on the other side, hitting 3 home runs. Like you only get 3 or 4 at bats in a game. Like you're hitting home run every time you're on the play. Like what are you doing?
Second home run left the stadium. Like he hit it over the roof in the right field pavilion.
Crazy.
Like, dude, but the funny thing is he was not like doing very well before that game,
right?
As far as his batting, like he was slumping hard. Like, I think he had maybe a double and a triple, or no, he had like a single and a triple or something like that.
He's trying to throw off the scent.
He was not. I don't know.
Performance enhancing drugs he's using.
Yeah, he just earned his $700 million right there. I mean, that's like one of those things that like you know he's capable of doing both of those things,
right?
But to watch him do it in one game is like, oh, wow,
crazy.
So yeah, and then last night when I went to bed, we were playing the Mariners in the World Series, and then the Blue Jays said, "Whoa, hold on a second."
Yeah.
George Springer just goes yard and turns that game around, and Toronto is now your American League representative in the World Series.
That series is wild too, because it went like I'm looking it up right now.
So the home team only won Game 5 and Game 7.
Why did this just do
that? The other games were all won by the road team.
That's crazy.
It really is. And there were a lot of runs scored in that series.
But
there were still lopsided scores. Like it was like 13-5.
Right. Like game 1's 3-1 Mariners. Okay. Regular. Okay. Game 2 is 10-3 Mariners.
Yeah, 10-3, and then
then game 3 is 13-4 Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Game 4 is 8-2 Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And then game 5 is 6-2 Mariners. That's like, could be kind of regular. We're back into somewhat normal territory. And then it's 6-2 Blue Jays. Honestly, after game 5, I was like, oh, the Mariners, like, and,
they got
it. And I was kind of, Amy was saying, like, why would you root for the Mariners? And I'm like, well, I want the team that beat my team to make it all the way. Cause then it's like, well, at least we lost to, the champs, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, we couldn't beat the champs, but yeah, the Blue Jays came back, and that was wow. Very surprising. So this will be it'll be a very interesting matchup. It's going to be like 15 to like 14 every game. It's going to be like football scores.
Probably. Both teams tend to rely on the home run. Both teams have some prolific home run hitters.
Right.
Like I think we will see a lot of it's either going to be pitching shuts the hitting down, or it's going to be like just home run derby out there. And it's the postseason, so either one of those is going to be the outcome. Like that's tends to be how the postseason works. Is like there's it's just either pitching will dominate or hitting will dominate.
Yeah.
There will not be like a balanced
Right. Right.
approach, you
Yeah.
know.
There's this scene in The West Wing. I don't know if you've ever watched The West Wing. But I've watched that show like, I don't know, 10 times through. There's a scene where the character Josh Lyman is like running a campaign for president, and
Mhm.
he's saying he makes this point to some staffer that presidential campaigns are not about the right answers to the questions. It's about the question itself. It's about like you determining what the question is for people,
Mhm.
whatever. And so you're saying like it's and so I'm wondering which team wants it to be a pitcher's series and which team wants it to be a hitter's series, because
Well,
both could do
if
both, really. Like,
yeah, I mean, and like, so I think LA's got the edge in starting pitching. Um, Toronto probably has the better like all around pitching situation going on.
okay.
The Dodgers have too many guys in the bullpen who are like shaky. Like they can either be brilliant, get you 3 outs on 3 pitches, or they can go give up, 6 runs on, a third of an inning. Like
Right.
they can it. So what really helped the Dodgers beat the Brewers was the fact that the starters were all able to go deep in the games. I think Shohei had the shortest start in game 4 with 6 innings. I think everybody else made it like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yamamoto pitched a complete game in game 2. So
as much as possible, they're just trying to keep the starter out
it's
there.
basically, yeah. Like, I
He's like,
mean,
but like
and you
assistant
saw,
coach is
like,
going over to
we
call the
saw,
bullpen, and he's like, no. Hold
I
up,
mean,
hold
we
up.
saw in game 3, it was like the Dodgers were leading, and Doc goes to the bullpen and brings in Blake Trinan, and that dude starts shitting the bed, and it's looking like, oh great, now you're gonna let the Brewers get back into it. And so we had to go bring in another reliever. It's like when you're burning 2 relievers in, an inning and a third, that's not efficiency out of your bullpen.
Right.
So there's got to be more efficiency in the bullpen for LA. I don't think Toronto has like a lights out bullpen, but they seem to be like more stable. Like one way or the other, they're you kind of know what you're getting. Whereas with the Dodgers, it's like, I mean, like Trinan could go out there and get 3 outs on 3 pitches, or he could go out there and give up, 3 runs.
Yeah.
And you don't know which one you're getting until he throws his first pitch, and
right. It's going to be this kind of game.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great World Series, I think.
Think it goes 7? Or you think it's one of those where it's like either team is going to sweep? Like,
I don't think I didn't think the Dodgers would sweep the Brewers.
Right.
I didn't think we had it in us. The nice thing is that the Dodgers will have had time to get everybody on regular rest. So Snell will be pitching game 1, just like he's done the whole postseason. And he is undefeated. So it will be interesting to see, because they'll also have a few days rest, like they should be able to get their pitching reset.
Yeah.
Because they finished the series last night, and then
first
game's Friday. So that's, 4 games that they should be able to have at least their number 2 starter.
Right.
So it'll be crazy. It'll be a crazy World Series for sure. There's going to be a lot of emotion, raucous fans. It's Toronto basically holding the hopes of an entire nation to bring back a World Series championship for the first time since I was in middle school.
Right.
Which I watched that World Series. I remember watching that one when they played the Phillies, and seeing Joe Carter hit that home run. So it's, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any predictions. I wouldn't say it's going to go to 7.
Okay.
I don't think it'll go to 7, but I don't think it'll be a sweep either. Some like 5, 6.
5 or 6 games.
5 or 6 games. Yeah.
I'm still so salty that the Tigers let go of Max Scherzer when they had him, because this dude is with the Blue Jays, and I was just looking it up, and he's won 2 World Series with 2 different teams.
I was gonna say,
I can't remember how many different times he's played in the World Series.
I think this is his
besides that
4th.
But he just has. I just read that he started. He has the shit. Where did it go? He's like the only player in MLB history to start a game with 6 different teams in the postseason or something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Like, the guy's like, good luck. So I'm still pissed. Still pissed that the Tigers just, I don't know what happened there, but long time ago. Anyways, well, all right. I always got to make it about me, I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's going 7. I'm saying the World Series is going 7. I'm just going to make that prediction. And there's going to be at least 2 games where one of the teams scores 15 runs.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That'll take, I would take the Blue Jays on the scoring the 15 runs thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Just not the Dodgers jam.
Yeah.
Dodgers hit a lot of solo home runs, or like one runner on base home runs. Blue Jays tend to get 2 guys on base or even loaded up and let her rip. So,
all right. Well, we're deep in October, and that means that the 4th major professional sport's about to start up. NBA starting this week. I think the Pistons play tomorrow, their first game. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So not tomorrow when everybody's listening, but tomorrow in the past.
Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow in the past.
I always thought it was so funny when listening to podcasts and people would say that, like, oh, when they're listening to this, it'll be today.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. That's because there's a lot that has to go on between recording and posting. Well, you got any big predictions for the NBA season?
Honestly, I think I've mentioned this a few times before, but I don't really start following the NBA a whole lot until the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know, just because, especially like this time of year right now, you've got baseball winding down, you've got hockey getting started up. Those are kind of my 2 favorites.
Yeah.
And then also with having the English Premier League, like, I don't know, my sports bandwidth is pretty taken up.
Yeah. You got to find time to grade papers in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't let AI grade all my papers. Or any of them. I don't. If my principal is listening, I don't. Definitely.
Hey, they're the ones that got the software with it.
Yeah, he did pay for it.
So,
yeah.
so
it's
their fault.
Yeah.
Don't buy the software.
So I don't know. Thunder were really good last year. They're all the same team, so I guess if they stay healthy, they probably have the ability to defend their title. Pacers are basically the same team, but waiting on Hallie to get healthy again. So, and I don't know that he is going to come back this season from a torn Achilles.
Okay.
You know, that's not a
Yeah.
and I honestly, like, if I am the GM, the ownership, the coaches, like, I would take a long, hard look at where the team is in the standings. Not saying like tank, but I'm saying like if it's looking like an 8th seed is the best that the Pacers can do,
Yeah.
there is no sense in bringing the guy back and
Right.
trying to make a playoff run
Right.
from that, you know,
Right.
the bottom of the ladder.
It's a long uphill battle from there. Yeah.
The Knicks, though, I mean, I think they also stayed together. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pacers last year and gave the Pacers a pretty good run, so they could be in contention. You know, it's way too early to say anything, but I'll stick with probably the Thunder could repeat, and everybody else is kind of just going to do what they do, I guess.
All right. You think this is I have a follow-up to this question, but do you think this is LeBron's last year? He's getting up there in age.
LeBrick's last year. I mean,
he's out right now because he has sciatica.
Sure. Oh my goodness.
So that's like an old guy.
Sciatica.
Yeah.
Wow. They might want to check him for a herniated disc, because I had sciatica and that's what it was. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird now as like a 44-year-old person to talk about, you know, like a 35, 36-year-old being too old, but yeah, I mean, I know LeBron's older than that, but still,
say, yeah. So,
like,
wait, LeBron is definitely in his 40s.
Well, I mean, earlier I mentioned,
yeah, he is 40 years.
Yeah, he's 40. But I mean, earlier I mentioned that a 27-year-old goaltender is, you know,
right.
old.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
right.
You know, when you're 44 and you're like, yeah, that young kid. I mean, when I was 27, I thought I had the rest of my life to live.
Yeah.
And so far I've been right.
Yeah.
But that's a Yogi Berra-ism.
That was yeah.
We should put that on. We should put that on a T-shirt.
We should.
When I was 27, I thought I had the rest. I can't even remember what I said because I'm that old, man. What'd I say? We'll go back and watch it.
It's recorded. It's fine.
It's recorded.
Yeah.
Thankfully we got that recorded. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, does it call another 40-year-old old? But I mean, also playing pro sports does things to your body that, you know, watching pro sports sure doesn't do to your body.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, I thought last year would be his last year because they drafted his kid, and you know, there was the whole like he's gonna play with his son, and
then walk out.
I thought, and then walk out the door, and I don't know. I mean, go on, keep making that money.
Yeah.
Whatever. I still don't understand why he's in a Lakers uniform.
Yeah.
That's just like it.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me.
It didn't make
the only thing I could see was the money.
Yeah.
Just like, you're not going to be that guy that they're not going to forget about Kobe and think of LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Magic Johnson,
right,
is a more well-known Laker than LeBron.
Yeah. Every time I look up LeBron, I'm like, oh, this doesn't look right.
He doesn't look. Yeah, it doesn't look right. I mean, if he was with the other LA team, maybe, but
no.
Even then, it's just like, dude,
he's a Midwest boy.
He should have just stayed in Cleveland. He should have stayed in Cleveland.
Yeah. It was kind of weird too at the time, because I don't think they were even like really championship caliber when he went to LA. Because I remember a couple years ago,
they were not even in the playoffs.
Why is he going there? So I don't know.
Well, there
Kinda
was
weird.
speculation that like because he wanted to get involved in movies and stuff, that's why he did.
Okay.
But I mean, dude, you can play basketball in Cleveland and make movies
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but there are like film studios that are shooting in far-flung locations like
Yeah.
Georgia.
Right. Georgia. Yeah. Go play in Atlanta.
He
Got a
could have played
huge,
for Atlanta. Like,
huge film scene in Georgia. Yeah.
there's a huge film scene in Georgia. There's a decent film scene up in the Portland area. Like,
Yeah.
I was going to say Vancouver, but then I remembered that their team relocated to Memphis, and
Really?
they don't have a film scene in Memphis.
Like 30 years ago.
Like 30 years ago. Yeah, remember when the Memphis Grizzlies came out? Like, this is the sad thing about Canadian. Like, so Canada's lucky for having like the NHL because like all the other pro sports the only other two that they've joined up in have been Major League Baseball and NBA. But like they get two teams, and then like one of those teams just ends up moving to America. They're just like, this was just not right.
Right.
Like, but it's weird because you would think Vancouver wouldn't be a bad market for a basketball team because it's a fairly international city.
Yeah.
I think probably a much larger population and much more affluent population than Memphis.
Yes.
Majorly. Not to throw shade on Elvis's hometown, but just I can think of better places to want to live and watch basketball than Memphis, Tennessee. But
it's interesting. We should do a whole thing on sports teams moving.
Relocations. That would be
all right. Well, you know what? Our recurring segment here.
Sorry. Speaking before we get into that, you were going to say that you said the fourth of the other sports, whatever. MLS playoffs start this weekend, so brace yourself.
I'm definitely watching those.
Brace yourselves for an exciting MLS.
Did you see that Apple TV Plus is rebranding? Speaking of MLS,
no, I didn't.
Apple TV Plus is rebranding to Apple TV. So all the
what?
All the streaming platforms were like, oh, we just have to like take our corporate name and put plus at the end.
Plus.
And now they're all taking the plus off, or like HBO Max. HBO used to just be HBO, and then it was like, now we're HBO Max.
HBO Max,
but
now
nothing
we're
has
just Max.
Changed. And then it was now we're just Max, but again, nothing had changed.
Nothing's changed.
And then they're like, a year and a half after the outrage of why did you change this from HBO Max to Max? They're like, you know what? We're doing a rebrand, and now we're HBO Max again.
Max again, yeah.
It's like,
well, and I also so we have Sling, Sling Orange, or whichever one gets us the Fox Sports and all that. And I just saw on there the other day, they're like, you can add HBO Max to your Sling subscription now. I'm like, so did you guys just accidentally reinvent cable?
They have. There's so many bundles now.
Like I can bundle.
Yeah.
I can bundle both Sling, Orange, and Blue and get HBO Max and probably throw in Peacock and Paramount.
I forget which one I saw that was offering some bundle like that too. I think it was the ESPN, because I got like an email that said, we're raising the price on the ESPN bundle. And that's been bundled since Disney bought Hulu, whatever. So ESPN, Hulu, and what's the other one? Disney Plus. So you get those three together.
Yeah.
And then it was offering I think it might have been HBO Max. And I was like, what? Like, these are two completely separate corporate entities.
Yeah.
Why are you bundling these things together all of a sudden? And then I'm like confused, because now I'm like, well, do I cancel this account? Does it keep my account because I got all my stuff saved in this
Yeah.
one. That's the biggest racket.
Yeah,
Is can I transfer my data over? Like, I don't want to lose my progress.
It's not your data. You didn't read the terms. You didn't read the terms and conditions. It's not your data.
I'm the product.
It's data about you,
right?
That they are more than happy to pass on to other interested parties, including but not limited to government entities. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw some shit on the MLS because fucking playoff. Like,
yeah.
Come on, man. This is why nobody takes you seriously, MLS.
Yeah.
MLS. All right, now it's time for the new recurring segment called People Being Stupid.
People being stupid, because we always end up finding something.
The dumb.
Yep. So here's my thing with this first one, okay? I'm going to say that the person being stupid is not the person you think that I think is stupid. So Amy, a couple weeks ago, shared like a meme with me and was like, oh, this Zamboni driver got fired for peeing in the dump tank, basically. Because the Zambonis, okay, first of all, let's back up.
There's a meme?
Not a meme, but like one of those little like news, not a meme, but like, a little infographic with a headline on it. What do you call that? I don't know what that is. That's not a meme.
I don't know.
She shared an image. She screenshotted something that was like a picture of a headline. I don't know. Zambonis, for those of you listening that don't know how Zambonis work, they scrape the top layer of the ice off of the ice rink. And they put down hot water so that it freezes, and it's very, very smooth. You're showing.
Was it this picture?
It was not that one, because I didn't know that it was he was affiliated with the Red Wings. You're ruining my whole setup here.
Sorry.
You're ruining my whole setup. But it did look like that. So that's what it looked like. That's what I meant by meme. That's what I meant by meme.
Okay.
So anyways, so the Zamboni, then that big front part of the Zamboni collects a big block of ice, basically. It's like shaved ice, but you would not want to eat it. And so they take it into the Zamboni like maintenance area, and there's a humongous tank of water. And they prop that thing open and the ice slides out. It's very satisfying. So if you ever watch like Zamboni, ice video or whatever, it's very satisfying to watch this. Ice drops into this tank. It melts. It apparently drains out to the sewer. I did not know it drains out to the sewer. I always thought that they just recirculated that water and like put it back on, put it back in the tanks to refreeze back on the ice. I just always assumed they did that.
Probably can't because of the bodily fluids
probably
that would be involved.
That would make sense. Okay.
And they don't have
probably a pretty
they would need a water they would need a water treatment plant on site.
Yeah.
And that will just increase the taxpayers' cost of building stadiums
for the billionaire owners.
So, it's just easier to dump it in the sewer, man.
Yes. Yeah. So this stuff drains out to the sewer. That's an important fact to know about the Zamboni. That piece right there, that it drains out to the sewer. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So the long-time Zamboni driver of the Detroit Red Wings, Al Sabatka, who the Red Wings mascot, the sort of, it's not like really a mascot. We don't have one that runs around in the arena or anything like that. But we have this goofy looking purple octopus named Al, and it's named after Al Sabatka because he has worked for the Red Wings since they played in the Olympia Stadium, like pre-Joe Louis Arena. He has been driving the Zamboni. He's the guy that goes out, picks up the octopus, and swings it around his head. Or he was, until somebody reported him to HR for peeing in the tank where they dump the ice. And why was he peeing in that tank? Because he had a medical condition that made him like have the urge. He needed to pee like immediately, and he didn't think he was going to make it to the bathroom. So he peed in this tank, and he was blocked by like two Zambonis. But some employee kind of walked by and saw him. He apologized, whatever. and he lost his job over this. First of all, that's not a fireable offense. Keying when you have a medical condition is like in a thing. This is not malicious urination, okay? This is necessity is taking over, all right? So he's now, I think he's like 72 or something. He sued the Red Wings for like $50 million for damages or something.
How much does a Zamboni driver make?
Well, there's emotional damage and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
I forget what the number was. Let me look it up because I do have the link right here. What was it? And this is like 2022. I always kind of wondered, like, whatever happened to Al? And he had benign prostatic hypertrophy, BPH. Oh, BPH. I've heard of that because there's commercials for it. So yeah. So it's causes a frequent and uncontrollable need to urinate. That's a medical condition that, like, you know what? Pee in the fucking tank. Okay, it drained. This is ridiculous. So yes, he lost. I'm having trouble finding the number, but he was ruled against for his wrongful termination suit, and I think that's bullshit. He lost his job. They fired him because of age, which is age discrimination, and or a medical condition, which is against FMLA. So, you know what? This is bullshit. So the people being stupid in this case is my very own Detroit Red Wings and the court of law ruling against Al Sabatka.
Okay.
Hashtag free Al.
I think
pay Al.
First of all, the stupid people are the people who felt the need to go report that to HR. Like,
right. Come on.
I mean, and from what I read in the article, it was only male employees working back there. Like, I could kind of understand if it was like the ice girls or whatever, you know, were standing there and he did this. Like, okay, not cool.
Even like, then, he's not whipping it out and flinging it around and like, hey, look at me. He's 70 something years old and he's got a condition that causes frequent and uncontrollable. He had to pee. He's peeing in a thing. He also he took the time to block himself from
his view
being seen. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess more shame should be on the Red Wings that a guy is 70 and still having to drive Zamboni for a living.
I think this is more of a passion project for Al. I think it was
obviously
more of like
not if he's, you know, needing the money that bad. Because in the article it did say that like he's barely scraping by right now or something.
Yeah.
Like, I do also, I think it's kind of shady that you would name your mascot Octopus Al, but then not give the guy like a cut of the profits from octopus sales. You know, or licensing or something. Like that's
a name image likeness kind of deal.
That's a dick move. Like, it's like Zamboni drivers are not eligible for NIL deals anymore. Right. Come on, what kind of America is this?
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, like your point about he's scraping by. Who knows if that's true or not? But
I mean,
does he not have a pension or something? Like, what's going on over there, Red Wings?
Well, I mean, you know, like obviously, like it's a very specialized job position, right? Like, there's not very many Zamboni drivers, you know, professional Zamboni drivers in the NHL. There's 64 of them. Because there's
you probably have a couple of guys that can drive.
I mean, you might have some backups, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's not as easy as it looks.
I'm sure I know for a fact it's not. Not that I've driven.
You've driven one
before.
Oh.
No, I would love to.
I would love to too, but
no, I've been around enough hockey rinks to know there are some very bad Zamboni drivers.
Well, how much are they getting paid at those, you know, rinks? Like, that's
at your local municipal rink.
At your local municipal rink,
like
exactly.
Easily. Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm surprised Al is making more than minimum wage.
This guy. So I mean, it says, I looked it up. It says like Zamboni AI overview says NHL drivers earn an estimated range of 29 to 37.5.
NHL Zamboni drivers?
That's
No way.
That's according to NBC Sports Bay Area in 2022. Sometimes earning up to 37,500 annually as of 2022.
Dude, that is like poverty wage. That's insane.
But
that's like you work at a call center.
But what?
And you just started.
But what do you do because it's a part-time gig too. Like obviously you're not doing it every day. You're not doing it 40 hours a week.
Okay.
So it is kind of a part-time job. Like what are you doing in your other part-time, because it's like most other arena workers, like if you work concessions at Little Caesars Arena, to use your city for an example, you work in concessions there, and when they have a concert, you can work your job. You know what I'm saying? Like it may not be a full-time 40-hour-a-week job all the time, but you will get enough nights to make fairly decent money, especially now that they make you tip on everything.
They really do. They ask that tip.
You sold me a souvenir puck. Why do I need to tip you? Like
I know. You turned around and got a pizza that's already overpriced and has been sitting there far too long, out of the thing, and set it on the counter. Like, I'm not tipping for that. I'm sorry.
Well,
you need to bargain for better wages.
I do tip for the concessions people, because I feel like they probably have to put up with drunk assholes at some point.
They do, I'm sure. I'm
always
very
they
kind,
deserve.
but...
I try to be nice to them and give them a little bit. But yeah, so like, what do you do with the rest of your time when you're a Zamboni driver? Like,
there's got to be it's got to be like a facilities kind of job. Like, you're not just showing up and driving the Zamboni and then just dipping out. Like, all right, I gotta.
So you think he like runs the forklift for the?
Well, there's like
when they have concerts, you think he helps put out the staging and stuff like that?
No, I don't think that, because I think that each performer is going to have their own stage crew.
No,
but
they
facility
have the facility does the setup of the actual stage equipment and stuff.
The facility is going to have like the prep, like they're going to prep for the other people that set up. Like, yeah.
So but they're going to have the stage put together. They're going to have the main arena speakers set up, all that.
Stuff.
They're not, but they're not putting the amps and the guitars and the drum sets and all that on stage. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel worse for the guy that he's, that old, still driving the Zamboni, even if it is for fun. Like, they should still pay the guy more.
I just can't believe it.
Like,
this is the organization that is owned now by the son of the deceased Mike Ilitch, who quietly paid for Rosa Parks' rent so she could live in a safe place, because she was receiving like constant death threats and stuff at her home. And did this like was not doing this for publicity, whatever. He just shelled out this money.
Yeah, if he was doing it in secret, yeah.
And Mike Ilitch had a lot of issues, like, buying up downtown Detroit lots, and not developing them and whatnot, but not allowing them to be developed. But this is like a low for the Ilitch family. Come on, Chris Ilitch, what are you doing? Pay Al. Hashtag pay Al. That's
at least give him, a retirement check or something.
Right. Some kind of severance.
Ridiculous.
Well, another people being stupid. This one is the person you think it is. Somebody got on the Jumbotron with a message. I don't know if it was a poster or like I can't really tell if it was like one of those things where people they're like, submit your, picture.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear because it says
they
a
do that.
message
It's like,
from a fan was shown on the video board.
yeah.
So
So
it's
sometimes
like,
they'll do those like
was it
QR
a
codes and like you
yeah,
text or whatever,
yeah.
and and it'll show your name or whatever. So it says SJ Sharks fans love ice. Get 'em boys. Referring to Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Are we
Which-
sure?
Which
Are we
again,
sure?
fuck
I
ice.
mean, we're talking about
But that's
ice
what I wanted to
hockey.
say. That's what I want to say is, do we love ice? It's all contextual. So
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe this person was just very.
Were they trying to say love you on the ice, but they ran out of characters? You know, like
This person is probably like sitting at home, like, no. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Is this a Zamboni driver? You know, maybe
soon to be disgraced.
Maybe he loves the ice.
Yes.
Or maybe is this the ice sending a message to the team, like somebody sending a message to the team from the ice?
From the ice. San Jose Sharks fans love ice.
Get them, boys. That's where it is.
Boys with a Z is where it goes.
With a Z,
where it goes sideways. Because
yeah, because that was written by a guy who had a starter jacket at one point in his life.
It's like a 19-year-old with a pair of Oakleys. That's where that came from.
He wears his hat backward. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. I don't know. So we went to the No Kings rally here on Saturday.
Yeah.
Here in Columbus. I was kind of surprised that there weren't any that I saw MAGA people out there.
No. They're all
counter protesting. Yes, I know they're very scared of the violent Antifa leftists who are definitely always paid to be there, but who also weren't there because it was all fake and staged and photoshopped.
Right.
I can assure you we were there, bro. Yeah, it was. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, we went to the No Kings rally. It was a lot of fun.
Because you hate America.
Because I hate America so much that I want to defend my right to free speech.
Right.
I took my pocket constitution in case there were any masked agents of the state, so that I could make sure to, inform them of my right to peaceably assemble.
Yes.
And it was all peaceable. Yeah, so I don't know. Why would you support? I can support the mission of, like, yes, immigration and customs enforcement is important. Like the idea of enforcing our customs and border laws, the way that it's being done is not cool.
Yeah.
And anybody who says "get 'em boys" is with a Z.
That's one of the worst. That's one of the worst parts about that is the get 'em boys.
That is the most offensive part. Like that, seriously. I mean, like if they just said SJ Sharks fans, get 'em boys with the Z, I think that should be newsworthy. Like
it would be just as bad, really.
It would be just as bad. It'd be worse, probably. I mean, like,
in fact, you can take out get 'em boys.
The 90s are over.
Leave love ice.
If you said SJ Sharks fans love ice, it would be like, maybe
we love the ice.
Somebody had
love being at the ice rink.
Or they had a bad experience at the concessions. They didn't get enough ice in their drink. It's the get 'em boys that I guess maybe.
Yeah.
The only bright spot is they live in California, where they, are hopefully segregated from the rest of society for their own good. I don't know.
I also found it hilarious that they live in a city called San Jose. Like,
Well, the whole state of
How far gone
California
do you have to
is
be
like
to live
literally,
in a
I
place
mean,
named in Spanish?
how
What
far
an
gone do
idiot.
you have to be to live in a country that's, been stolen from the original inhabitants
Yeah.
and try to say like, oh, this other person's not here legally? Like,
Right. Right.
ooh,
Right.
guys, I'm not sure if you know this, but in 16, yeah, well, in the like late 1500s, some guys who came here without papers. I don't know if you want to call them undocumented or illegal. But they happened upon this land and they were like, "Oh, we'll just stay here." And we don't speak the language that they speak here, so we're going to keep speaking our language.
They also did a
And
lot
like,
worse things than, going to Home Depot and getting some roofing supplies and working, sort of
yeah,
stuff. Not the stereotype, but I'm just saying that's where ICE is, rounding people up. It's like Home
yeah,
Depots and stuff. It's
I'm
like,
trying to figure out, yeah, how a dishwasher is a threat to my
right,
safety.
right. Like,
You know,
we're
I
gonna
don't think
find
it's,
out real soon, though, if this project does is quote unquote successful in by their determination of
yeah,
success. They're gonna find out real quick who does a lot of the backbreaking work around here.
yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah, and I think it's great that a lot of people have been complaining for years about those people taking their jobs, and it's like, okay, well, looks like there's some openings.
yeah,
If you would like to go pick berries or work in a hotel as a maid, work at a poultry plant
right,
for sub minimum wage.
right,
Yeah, plenty of those jobs getting open for you.
yeah.
Happy
And see you
job hunting.
applying. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go get it. Uh, yeah.
Well,
Oof.
second episode in a row. We'll end before the break with fuck ice.
Fuck ice.
Well, we're back. And Tim has a question.
I do. It's been on my mind for a while. Is TV ruining sports?
Hmm. You know what? I would not even have any remote idea of like what sports are if they weren't put on TV.
Okay.
So my answer would at least be not fully.
Okay.
But what do you mean by is TV ruining sports? Because I'm
So
assuming it's kind of a leading question.
so what I mean by is TV ruining sports is like has TV hurt the integrity of the on-field product and the officiating of the on-field product? Because I think so, like, the vast majority of us, if it wasn't for TV, would not be able to view sports. Like,
Right.
we don't have the budgets, we don't have the capabilities to view live games, or be in arenas or stadiums or whatever.
You'd be reading about it in the paper.
You'd be reading about it in newspaper, maybe if you could hear it on radio, whatever.
Right.
So, but I've noticed a shift in the last probably 20-ish years, and especially the last probably 10, with like 4K becoming a thing, where it almost feels like the camera angles, the detail, the zoom has made it harder to watch a game in the stadium.
Okay.
From an in stadium perspective, it's harder to watch and enjoy a game because of TV timeouts because of the like replay situations, and you don't always know what's going on with a replay or with
That's true.
With a TV timeout or whatever. You don't always know why there's a break in the action. Or if you do know why there's a break in the action, you're not necessarily getting the same experience that a fan at home is getting, because they're watching. Like, I think of a replay situation like NFL replay. Like, even though everybody's got these massive video boards, the resolution on that is not the same as me sitting at home watching on TV.
Right.
But also, like, because of that resolution being so great, so many plays are getting challenged now.
Right.
In all sports, so many plays are now being reviewed. So many plays are being, the officials are being questioned. And it's like, we're getting down to micrometer level, frame by frame dissection of plays.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's ruining the enjoyment of the sport, because of the, like, guy catches. I mean, we don't even know what a catch is in American football anymore.
Right.
I mean, like,
yeah.
Well,
You have to have possession.
You have to make a football move, whatever that entails,
Right.
and it's like, and it seems like every time you think you've got it figured out, you don't have it figured out. We've talked about in hockey before, where goaltender interference, it's like, you think you know the definition because this is what the rule book says, and then you see a play get upheld or overturned, and it's like, wait a minute, what? It's so bad that, like, tennis uses replay. I mean, like, tennis, come on, man.
Right.
And they don't even use replay. They use, like, computer.
Yeah, they've been using
like,
the tracking, the ball tracking for a long time.
Thing for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I trust that it's accurate. That's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But it's like, it's kind of ridiculous to me that, like, something is fairly, I don't know. I don't want to say insignificant, but something as not something that's not a major, professional sport like tennis, even getting hit with the replay bug.
Yeah.
That's how I've started to feel about it. It's just like, TV is ruining sports.
Yeah.
Because we're now watching it at the frame by frame level. We're watching it at the, the super zoomed in to see if his, one of his cleats was on the white line, so he's out of bounds.
Right.
It's like,
is there a green blade of grass between?
It's. And I've been thinking about it more, especially during the MLB playoffs, because I don't know how much baseball you watch.
The playoffs.
The playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'll watch, like, opening day, and then I'll catch, like, 1 or 2 games during the season.
See, I'm like every game, I love baseball. So
I want to get that way next season.
And part of the reason I love baseball is because it's the only sport you can fail at what you do 70% of the time and still be considered elite.
Right.
Like, if you're batting 300, that means that 3 out of every 10 times you go up to the plate, you get a hit. Like, if I had a kid come to me 3 out of every 10 times, 30%.
Right.
And I'm like, you're an elite student. Like,
You're really good at math.
No, like that's not how it works. But I mean, that's like one of the things I love about baseball is it's just like where else can you kind of your failures be viewed as a success? Like
Right.
you can turn that around on its head and have that positive,
Yeah.
positive outlook. Well, you struck out or you made an out 7 out of 10 times you went up to the plate, but 3 out of 10 times you at least got onto first base.
Yeah. It's a very glass half full kind of sport.
It's a very, yeah. So I can't remember how long they've been doing this. It's been probably the better part of 15 years. They've showed the little strike zone rectangle on the screen.
Yeah.
Where you've got the rectangle showing where each batter's strike zone would be.
Yeah.
And then they also have incorporated the little dot to show you where the pitch was,
where the ball went across. Yeah.
And
where is the strike zone, Tim?
So the strike zone is knees to nips, and it's from one side of the plate to the other side of the plate.
Knees to nips.
Knees to nips.
That needs to be on a t-shirt. The strike zone is knees to nips.
I think in the official baseball rule book, it probably says like the letters and the jersey.
Yeah.
Which is why like teams start making their jerseys have an arch, or they want to have it as flat as possible to make that line. Anyway, so they've had that overlay right for years, and the little dot that appears to show you where the pitch was.
Right.
And it makes it, for a fan at home, it makes it like, okay, yeah, that was a strike or that was a ball, whatever. But it does also make for a fan at home to see an umpire, that dot was on the corner and he called it not a strike. He called it a ball, and then the next dot shows up on a corner and it's a strike now all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it makes it hard as a fan to watch something like that and be like, how the hell is his,
right.
Like, and we all know that the umpires are human and it's subjective,
right?
And that for now, that it's not going to be a perfect art, or perfect science, but it's what's become more apparent to me. And I don't remember seeing this as much in years past, but it seems like they've been doing it in every game so far in this MLB postseason, is the home plate umpire camera. So showing that viewpoint, and they've been showing it quite a bit, has got me to think maybe it's actually TV is actually helping baseball get better, or helping fans get better and understand more, because when you you see, and unfortunately the camera's on top of their head. Like, I wish they could find a way to mount it like at the umpire's eye level.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be feasible or comfortable.
Those Google glasses, whatever. You did that.
I don't know that those can broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, that's a good idea for the future glasses, whatever. But
the funniest part of those, the camera on the home plate umpire, is it's on their mask.
Yeah.
So when they rip their mask, like they'll go and show those replays, and they rip that mask, and all of a sudden you're like I like get whiplash every time, because I jerk my head back. I'm like, what? Where am I? Where did I go?
Yeah. The thing that I don't like about it is that it is a little bit disorienting, because it's literally like it's on top of his mask. And so like before he sets himself up behind the catcher, and then when they go to set it, like it does that whole like shake all the way down. The wiggle, whatever. But I think it helps to put that job into perspective. a lot more. Like, okay, so you have the benefit of not blinking because you're seeing this, like this camera is not blinking.
Right.
Also this camera isn't going to potentially take a foul ball off of it and, need a minute.
Right.
Like the umpire himself will. But to see a 99-mile-an-hour pitch coming at you from that perspective, and then seeing the angle, like them having to decide, was it too high, too low, inside, outside in a split second?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I'm kind of changing my mind on TV and baseball. Like,
Okay.
TV might be making baseball a little bit better from an at-home fan perspective. Until next year when they bring in the ABS system, the automated balls and strikes. I think that's going to be. But that's going to put MLB into probably NFL territory with the replays. I think replay in general, like even if it's not a replayable thing, like every network that covers sports plays replays of like every little thing anymore.
Right.
And like I said, from like a frame by frame, really zoomed in micro level detail, replay. And so even if it's not a reviewable play, or even if it's not a controversial play, it's like, why am I watching a replay of an insignificant moment from this game?
Yeah.
And that's where like being a fan in the stadium is better because you don't have to deal with that. But then you're missing out on, I don't know. You're missing out on the commentary, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I think football is probably the worst about it, and that's part of the reason I don't really watch a whole lot of football anymore, is just because like they use the technology that is present there because of TV, because of the broadcast. Like you're talking about literally every single play being the ref has to make a judgment call about where the ball ended up. And if there's any, controversy about it, any, oh, that's not where it was. It was 3 inches further. Oh, no. That's you placed it way too far. That's a generous spot. It's like you said, even on the insignificant midfield second quarter plays, you're like getting into these like little nitty gritty, like inches by inches sorts of things that don't even matter. And it's like, dude, I know this matters for like a first down or whatever, but man, just set the ball and play. Like it just grinds down the game to be so slow. That's where in like baseball, I kind of like the automated balls and strikes. I kind of like more like in tennis. I like the ball tracking thing because it makes it more, it takes the subjectivity out of those kinds of calls where you're not just in the mud the entire match or the entire game, where you can just rely on something that's 99.9% accurate and just move on and just accept it as 100% instead of relying on like a human who's probably 95% accurate. But now you're going, okay, that 5% matters now. Like that's, worth the time that we take to review every little detail. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think a lot of that stuff has sucked the life out of like enjoying watching the sport, even live or watching it on TV. You brought up the announcing too. Like, I think honestly, like we're in the what's the opposite of the golden age of TV broadcast?
Oh yeah.
We're in that because we're in the stone age of the of TV broadcast. There is no play by play. I mean, I love Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond. I love the local broadcast for the Red Wings. When those guys retire, it is going to be so difficult. Like whenever they're sick during the COVID year, they were out a lot, COVID protocol stuff. And dude, oh my gosh, everybody that filled in was like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying and painful to watch. The national broadcast for stuff is so annoying. Like you've got, I don't know if they're just searching for guys with like unique voices or something, but it's like, why are you choosing unique over just like somebody that I can stand to listen to? And I'm talking all sports. Like it's all networks, all sports. They're all just so bad.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from the shift to television from radio, because like when you had to call a game for radio, you had to be descriptive in
describing the game.
You
Yeah,
had to describe the game. You know, you like, I mean, I think Vin Scully is the GOAT of announcing. You know, nobody called a baseball game like Vin Scully. You know, describe, like, you could watch, even when he was doing the TV broadcast, you could shut your eyes and you knew what was going on that field.
yeah.
You know, the way that he would describe what was happening in the game, the way that he would tell a story about a player while they were at bat. You know, now it's like a lot of even color commentary is getting into like speculating about, you know, whatever, or talking about some other guy who's not even on the field at that moment.
Yeah.
You know, comparing this guy to somebody else who hasn't played in 30 years, you know, and it's a different game now. Yeah, I think announcing has gone downhill because of television, because they rely on the visual to kind of tell you what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I like, so I did notice, I was watching Premier League match this weekend, and I noticed that there were like lulls where the announcer, like, and I've always kind of picked up on it, but I don't think it like really hit me until I started thinking about, like, is TV ruining sports more this week? Is like there were periods where the commentators just, nobody was talking.
Yeah.
It's just like you see what's happening on the pitch, but you know, nobody's describing the action or whatever. And that's fine for television.
Right.
You know, I don't think that you need somebody to tell you exactly what's going on every second of every game. That was part of the appeal, like when ESPN was doing the, I don't know if they still do them, but like they did at the college national championship, where they had like the different cameras basically, so you could watch the game from the sky cam the whole time. It didn't have the commentary on there. And it was just kind of an interesting option as a fan. I don't know if they still do them like that. But I know when it first came out, I was like I gave it a shot. I watched it for a little bit, you know, the cable cam or whatever it was view. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, because there's no play-by-play.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's no play-by-play, so there's nobody to get annoyed with for saying, you know, stupid stuff. So I think
the play-by-play, there's an art to it that I think these guys are forgetting, which is their job is not to just, like, they're coming from the era of, you're describing the game and what's happening, but there's an art to like dramatizing the action where you're setting up the different storylines. This guy's in a slump. Can he get out of it, or does he stay in the slump? This guy is, awesome against this team. Like he's got their number kind of thing. This guy and this guy are brothers or whatever. Like there's all kinds of those little storylines all throughout all of sports. And then even in the play, kind of one of the things that like this is going to get into another topic, but so ESPN, when they got the broadcast rights for the NHL, and a lot of the games that year were on ESPN, seemingly like a lot more regular season than there are now. But Leah Hextall was calling games play by play, and she was terrible. Everything was like way overexcited. And, there was all this talk about, oh, people don't like her because she's a woman and they don't want to listen to a woman call a game. No, there's actually a woman who is now like the anchor for our Fox Sports, or not Fox Sports, FanDuel Sports, FanDuel Sports, Detroit, who's called play-by-play on games like preseason games and training camp games and different streams and stuff that we've watched. Mm-hmm. And she's awesome. She's great to listen to. She's knowledgeable about the team. She's knowledgeable about hockey. She's reading the play as it's happening. She's getting excited, and you can feel the excitement in her voice as the play gets exciting. The problem was like Leah Hextall was like, oh, he dumps it in the zone. It's like, that's not a thing to get excited about. Yeah. Like, why are you there's like this discord between like what the person's saying but even like, and I'm picking on Leah Hextall for that, but like you were talking about the kind of lull. We were watching the Red Wings game that was on TNT, and these guys are just sitting there. Kenny Albert and Eddie Olczyk are just sitting there for like 30 seconds, a minute, saying nothing. And there's like actual action. And then there's a power play going on, and they're talking about something that happened 20 years ago that relates to nothing about either of these two teams. It's talking about, and it's like, dude, and it's like inside jokes that they have with each other and stuff. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up and call the game. What are you doing? So I have been saying for a very long time, not a very long time, a couple of years, I've been saying the year is now 2025. Why do I not have the option? Like you said, you have you selected like which camera view you wanted to look at. Why do I not have the option of at least, I need them to send two separate audio feeds. I need the in-arena game sound, and I need the announcers. And I need to be able to choose the level, the balance of what those two things are, because it feels like almost every game it's different. Where some games like I have to turn it way up, and then I'm hearing like, ice skating, and I can't hear the announcers because they're so muffled or whatever. And then other games I can't hear anything that's happening on the ice, and it's like I'm just listening to two guys, rant. So yeah.
Well, it would be nice too if you could get like the radio broadcast.
Yeah, choose who you want. Yeah.
Like choose which, like if you want the radio broadcast while you're watching the televised game, you should be able to pick that as an audio choice, not have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Or have to have multiple devices going where you got the game audio on one and the radio audio on one, and the
we
game
actually
on
were
the
doing
other. And
we were doing
like,
that during.
I've done it before. Like I've done it with baseball games, especially. Like it's just some of these guys, especially once you get into the playoffs, like so starting out in the World Series this year, because Fox has the World Series, Joe Davis is the announcer for the World Series. He's also our Dodgers he's our Dodgers play-by-play guy all year.
Oh wow.
He's our main guy. So like we're used to hearing his voice. He does a good job. Like I think he really understands the gravity of taking over for Vin Scully, like and being like he's not the guy who replaced Vin Scully, but he's the guy who replaced the guy.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and that's
you gotta have the gap guy.
You have to have the gap guy, and you feel bad for the gap guy, you know,
Right,
but
exactly.
somebody's got to do it. Like
Yeah.
you can't go from living legend to like somebody else who is as good. I mean, there's just you're going to be compared to the last guy.
Right.
But so I'll leave it on, you know, for Joe Davis because I'm like he calls a game very well.
Yeah.
If like when the Dodgers are on other networks and they don't have that play-by-play guy, sometimes you feel like flipping on the radio broadcast.
Yeah.
On the app because it's just like you're talking about you're talking about stuff that doesn't even pertain to this game.
Or sometimes even baseball at all.
Or baseball
it's like,
at
what
all.
are you talking? What are we even talking about?
Or life on this planet at all? Like we're, you know, like, and I love, you know, I love how, especially in the NFL, like for a while there was like it was like any way that the announcers could turn the conversation to Tom Brady, they would turn the conversation to Tom Brady. You know, it's like. Did you didn't do this for any other player in the history of the game? Like I remember growing up watching Barry Sanders play, and I don't remember any announcers like bringing up Barry Sanders when the Lions weren't playing. You know, like I don't remember watching a Chiefs Chargers game and hearing a running back get compared to Barry Sanders or being told how Barry Sanders would have scored a touchdown on that run.
Right.
You know, it's like Tom Brady comes along and like I don't know what happened. Like the collective consciousness of, you know, obsession with the guy or what.
Collective consciousness.
Wow. Turned, you know, but it turned American football almost unwatchable because it's like I'm sitting here trying to watch a Monday Night Football game that has serious playoff implications, and you guys are talking about Tom Brady, who threw for 130 yards and a touchdown and 2 interceptions yesterday. Like he's, you know, like he's in the stadium right now or something, you know, it's just but is TV making sports better or worse? I mean, that's kind of it's kind of a dilemma. It's like a Occam's razor maybe type, you know.
Deeply philosophical.
Yeah, I don't know. I just mainly from baseball perspective lately, I've been like, man, I don't know. Like it has ruined American football for me. Some of the NHL stuff bothers me with like offsides, like a close offsides call or whatever. You know, it's like, yes, can we zoom in and see that there's a millimeter of black on a millimeter of blue? Sure. Should we? I don't know. Let the officials make a judgment call and let's be okay with that.
It's also really annoying. Speaking of like the technology stuff, like, and I don't want to go away from having linesmen in the game, but like you've got puck tracking, very accurate puck tracking. It knows the location of the puck. You know the location of every player. So like within a couple of inches, probably a couple of millimeters, you know where the puck is at all times.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. They've got to be able to track technologically is the like, dude, I walk out of Kroger with like a, you know, something and it thinks I haven't scanned it or something and the things go off. Okay. If
Yeah.
Kroger can do this, when you
Well,
pass through something, like they can set up a little zone where it buzzes or something and it alerts, you know, even if the linesman has it in
the
his ear or something like that, where it's
the
like, oh, that's off.
problem, but see the problem with that, because they've talked about doing some like goal line technology in the NFL. The problem with that is you have to put the sensor in. Yeah, where the sensor is located makes a difference on where the sensor is detected. Um, so if like in hockey, you're dealing with a round puck that is, what, an inch thick, and it's constantly spinning on the surface. Where do you put the sensor that detects for offside or a goal if because
feel
you
like
have to know where the puck is. Like, it's
I
not
feel like
just
that
about
one's pretty
knowing
easy to
where
figure out.
it's not
If we can,
it's
if we
not
could put
about
a man on
knowing
the
where the
moon,
puck is.
we
Oh,
can
we
figure
could
this one
do
out.
it. We
Come
could
on.
do it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, it's not as it's not as clean cut. Like the
Yeah.
thing with the NFL was they would have to put a microchip sensor, whatever, in both ends of the ball. Because in the NFL the rule
Right.
is, or well, in football the rule is that if the point of the ball crosses the plane of the goal line,
Right.
it counts as a touchdown. So you'd have to have that, like the laser reader sensor all the way across the goal line. You'd have to have a chip in both ends of the ball because that's what's determining whether it's
Yeah.
across that line or not. It would just get, I don't know, just get overly complicated. Like I'm all for technology helping sports get better. I'm not for technology removing the human element of sports, and I think that's what some of this tracking type stuff
Yeah.
does. Is it like it it makes it too easy to rely on something else
Yeah.
and not have. I mean, the referees, officials already have a hard enough job as it is. Like, you're responsible for maintaining a certain line of sight. You're responsible for watching a certain part of the play, whatever.
Right.
They already have a hard enough job, and TV's making it even harder because now, in real time, we can go back and watch, whether or not that was the right call. We
Right.
can watch, you can see like your camera angle. Like, that's the thing too with TV broadcast, is that camera angle is up and, away.
Right.
So you're looking down on the action from a distance
Yeah.
where you can see the entire court, you can see the entire field, you can see, whatever it is.
Right.
It'd be interesting if they put, so like the ump cam, it'd be interesting because I know in the NFL they've done, on an experimental basis, they've done like referee camera during like the Pro Bowl or whatever. I don't know if they've actually deployed it during an actual game. It'd be interesting to see those kinds of camera angles more,
Right.
frequently in like all sports. Like,
Because then you really see what they're up against. Yeah.
show me a linesman, show me an NHL linesman's camera view of what
Right.
that call looked like, so that for all the fans who, are
Right.
perfect referees at home who never
Yeah.
make any mistakes and, always judge things the right way, now you're going from up above to now you're on field
Right.
level, court level, ice level.
Yeah.
You are a 6 foot tall human
Right.
watching other 6.5 foot tall humans do their thing
Uh,
at
funny,
speed,
funny
you
enough,
know.
the Red Wings game that we went to, my seat in the upper bowl was like right on the blue line.
Uh-huh.
So I had a very good view of offsides.
For both
And
for the whole rink though.
for one
'Cause
side of it, for one blue
but
line.
well
So
for both for the whole blue line on the one you were sitting on,
yes,
you could see wall to wall.
not wall to wall. No. I
Okay.
could not see
See
wall to wall.
that, and that's the
So
thing.
that's another piece.
You can't see wall to wall. He
So I'm
can
sitting,
when he's down there.
yeah. So I'm on the blue line, and I can see really well. Not obviously not on the side closest to me.
Yeah.
But the plays coming in, and as the Red Wings coming into their offensive zone, and it was like the one guy without the puck definitely crossed over and did not drag his foot, and he was offside for sure. And the puck carrier came in right by the linesman. Like I think the puck, there was some sort of thing where the linesman had to jump out of the way. And so I was like, oh, and he yelled, it's not
good.
offside. It's good. Which they yelled no, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
No. And this guy that's sitting, so it's me and then Amy and then this guy sitting there, and he's drunk, and he thought the same thing I thought, which was like, this is definitely offside. He looks over at me. He's like, you got a better view than me. Because I was like right on the blue line. So he even knew that he was a little bit off. But it was funny because in what you're saying, the linesman is on the ice watching this guy, watching that guy, 30, 40 feet away from each other. And then he's also at the same time jumping up to get himself out of the way of the play and safe. And he's making this judgment call in real time at NHL speed. Like those guys are fucking fast.
Yeah.
There is no time to make that judgment. But my frustration with that is if you had the tracking technology that would alert you, it would prevent situations where like the team enters the zone offside, they stay in the zone, maybe even like, I guess if there's a change in possession, it negates that. But as long as they're holding possession, they can be in the zone for like 3 minutes and score a goal, and it's no goal because they were offside 3 minutes ago by like a millimeter.
Yeah.
That's annoying to me because it's like, and obviously that doesn't happen all the time.
No,
but like
then there is that waste of time.
And
waste
you've just
of
wasted.
effort,
You're not going to
waste of
redo
energy.
those 3 minutes.
No.
And it was just pointless. Like those 3 minutes were pointless hockey, and it was a pointless goal and all this stuff. And so it kind of degrades like the like, what's like the best, most entertaining, most fair kind of thing. If I come in the zone and I'm barely offside, but the ref calls it onside, and then the rest of my team gets in there and sets up for a play, and then we're keeping the puck, we're keeping possession.
Mm-hmm.
There should be like a certain time that lapses where it's like, if you kept the puck in the zone for like a minute, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, or 40 seconds or something, like that is negated. Even if it's challenged, it's replayed or whatever, like it's onside. If the ref called it onside, it's onside, sort of thing. I don't know.
I could see, if he called it onside and, they don't score, I guess like what you're saying, if they don't score within the first, 60 seconds, that, the offside, even if they were offside, that it would just not be called at that point.
Yeah. Just let it go.
But that would be a rule change that would require, I don't know, that almost, then that becomes a thing, like then are we going to have a replay to determine whether or not it was 1 minute that he,
Right.
Like, are we
We're going
now
down a tenth of a
creating
second
another?
now.
Yeah, are we now
It's,
creating another situation where we're,
it's reviews all the way down.
reviews all the way down, and
Oh
we
my
just,
gosh.
and and then at that
So
point, do we need to change the rules so that if you call for a replay and you get it wrong, you don't get a delay game penalty for like certain things? Because like that's one of the things that kind of bothers me about the NHL's review system. Like I get it, you don't want coaches challenging every play,
right.
but at the same time, like in every other league where replay has been instituted, it's like you get a certain number of challenges.
Yeah.
And it's the penalty for being wrong is just you're wrong. Like you lose your challenge and whatever the play was stands. Whereas the NHL is like, no, you get one challenge a game, and if you're wrong, you will get a penalty.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You better be sure.
What kind of Gary Bettman level, bullshit is that? Like, that is so, I mean, it's like, that's like double jeopardy, man. Like, you can't.
That's unconstitutional.
It's unconstitutional, man. But it's, it's like, that's the one thing that's really always bothered me about the NHL's replay system is that whole double jeopardy situation where it's like, and you never know who's in Toronto or New York or wherever the hell they're watching the replay from.
Right.
You never know what mood they're in to determine whether or not, like with goaltender interference. Like,
no. Oh, because it's still subjective.
Or even some of the offsides calls. I mean, we've all seen an offside call where it's like, okay, it looked like he dragged his toe, and they're like, nope, he was offside. And then you see another one that looks very similar, and they're like, nope, he didn't drag his toe, he was offside. Like, or he was on, or he did drag his toe, whatever. Like, so why are we like, okay, based on the whim of some guy in Toronto,
right?
Not only did you lose your challenge, but now you've gone on the penalty kill,
right?
For no reason other than you thought that the replay that you saw, or that whoever your replay assistant is on your team, they thought they had a good case.
You know what? If you get it right, if you don't get the power play, like they're like, all right, we got it wrong.
Yeah.
And you get a 6 skater for 2 minutes.
And if in the other leagues, like if you get it right, you get the result of the play or whatever, like if it's, in baseball, if it's, you challenge whether or not you as a runner were safe at first, or on any base, but first is usually where it ends up happening. You challenge that, and they go back and they look at it and they say, oh yeah, you were safe. You go on first base. You take your base.
Right.
It's, if they go back and review it and they say, no, you weren't safe, you just don't get on base. Like the NHL is
you don't get an extra out.
Like the most draconian of the replay situations.
Yeah. But wouldn't they be? Wouldn't they be?
They would.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of coming down on TV's ruining sports.
I feel like it did. It has the potential to not have ruined sports, but I feel like replay is really one of the big drivers behind what's made television ruin sports. Like in my opinion, like especially with the constant replays, like I can't stand, like that's one of the things I do love about watching English Premier League is that like because the sport continuously moves, they don't have an excuse for a replay. Like unless the ball goes out of bounds and there's a little bit of a lull or a player's injured, like you're not going to see a replay of every little thing.
Right.
I mean, they even do replays on like auto racing. Like like watch, you're watching an IndyCar race and they're like some replays. Okay, that's cool. Like let's go back and look at the accident and see, kind of see what happened. But I mean, you're showing a replay of a guy passing on lap 4. I mean, come on. Like, we're grasping at straws here, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
Well, what do you think, guys? TV ruining sports, making it better for you?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the public says. Johnny Q public. All right, time for the 2-minute warning. It's getting late, so maybe we should keep it as close to 2 minutes as possible.
Yeah.
Well, for locker room talk, I wanted to. We were going to record yesterday, which is the anniversary of our dad's death.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
Yep.
And so I figured it'd be a good. I put in here a tribute to Paul Moranville, tough guy.
Tough guy.
Because I feel like our dad modeled a form of masculinity that most dads probably don't model. And I'm trying to model with my son, but I fail at probably more than dad did. But very gentle natured. But one thing that always sticks out to me when I think of dad is that I had a conversation with him one time. I was a teenager at this point, and I don't remember what was happening, or somebody was doing something, and I was like, "Oh, aren't you like worried they're gonna do something?" He was like, "I'm not afraid," and I was like, "Oh, what? Like what?" And he basically just told me like he just wasn't afraid of anything, like he just had no fear, and I was like, "Wow, okay." And he was like so serious about it, and I was just like, damn, that's kind of badass. Like just to be just like roll around. And our dad was not like a big tough guy, but he just never really, I think maybe it was dumb optimism about other people, but he really never showed fear of anybody. Like he always was kind to everybody, happy to interact with anybody. And even when people were getting heated or, whatever, he had an ability to like cool the room and stuff, even as flustered as he would get himself sometimes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just kind of cool. There's a different way to be a tough guy, you can just be no fear and yeah.
Well, I was gonna make a joke about the frontal lobe being responsible for executive function, and maybe that's why he didn't fear things.
As I was talking, I was like, wait a second.
He had he had a rare form of dementia called frontotemporal dementia, and it took him a lot sooner than it should have, or he deserved to live much longer than he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was thinking more of like a tough guy from the stance, like he even refused to die, like he literally, like, I think we were all gathered around kind of like at the house, and it was like a weekend, and I think it was like a month before he actually died.
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, it was getting pretty serious. Like he's in hospice, and our sister, who's a nurse, like she was in there at one point, like took his pulse, and he didn't have a pulse. And so she's like, well, I think he's, dead. And he like wakes up, an hour later wanting to go on a walk or something. Like want to go on
like, hey guys, can somebody give me some Diet Coke?
He did. I mean, he did. He like refused, he and at one point, he pushes a chair out in the living room.
Yeah.
Like he walks himself out in the living room by pushing a chair, and like basically tells us like stop talking about him behind his back.
Yeah. We're all like, how did you get out
like,
here?
How'd you get out here? Sheer determination. Like I'll never forget that moment.
Man.
That was just like that's tough, that's badass. Like he's literally dying, like wasting away, both his brain and his body at that point, and he was still like why are they talking about me
Yeah.
as if I'm not here when I
Right.
am right here? Like,
Yeah.
I am going to confront them in this situation. We are
Yeah.
going, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Definitely a role model for sure.
Yeah.
I try to teach like I think he would have been a teacher, like he would have wanted me to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Following his footsteps,
think of him very
teaching the
often.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be proud for sure. I
Hopefully.
think he'd be stoked that you found your way into teaching.
Yeah. Oh, funny story about that. I guess I do have a life lesson.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so uh so I guess the life lesson from this would be to pay attention to details.
Okay.
And think twice or three times or double check or verify or whatever.
Okay.
So this week, I think it was this week or last week. Well, it was last week because this week just started. So Alicia gets this email from someone in the district that says this training program it's called Letters. It's a national initiative for teaching the science of reading, basically.
Okay.
So this person from the district emails Alicia and says, we don't have record of you attending the sessions 1, 2, it's 1, 2, and 4, something like that. There's 8 sessions, right? So says we don't have record of you attending these sessions for this training, and so we put in your day off in Red Rover, and you're gonna come down to headquarters and do these sessions, right? And Alicia's like, I know I went to all these because they started them while after she started in the district. And I'm like, yeah, and I know I've been to like at least 4 of those with you, 4 or 5 of those with you, because when I was building sub, they made us go to them as well, right?
Yeah.
So it said in the email, if you can find proof of attendance, give it to us, and and then we'll go ahead and change it. And she is like digging through. I mean, this stuff's been going on for 3 years. Like, it was 3 years ago that they started this, 3 or 4 years ago. So it's like, digging back through files, but online files, and it should be much easier than it is, but it's not. So she emails and she's like, okay, this is proof of this one and this one, but I can't find proof of this one. I know I went, whatever. So anyway, so she gets an email yesterday from this person, and they said, you probably think that I'm crazy for sending you all of these emails about going through this. We have a new teacher in the district with the same last name as yours, and that person didn't attend the trainings. And so we meant to email that person and
my
not
gosh.
you. And so Alicia emails her back and she's like, yeah, that's my husband.
Wow.
And then I got an email like not a minute later from when she sent the first one. I got an email telling me that I have to go to all this stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, I wanted to reply and say, are you sure you have the right Moranville this time?
Yeah.
But I also know how, not professional humor is.
Right.
So, but yeah, so double check your stuff, man. Just, so for point of reference, there are 4 teachers in the state of Ohio with the last name Moranville.
Really?
Yes, 4.
Okay.
4 teachers who have ever held a teaching license in the state of Ohio whose last names are Moranville.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In history, so not currently.
Yeah, all time. Okay. One of them's dead because that was our dad.
We already talked about him.
And we've already talked about him. 2 of them are Alicia and me.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one is mom, who hasn't renewed hers since she had it in like the late 90s.
Yeah.
She had an Ohio teaching license. So I'm like, there's a very short list of Moranville.
Small pool here. Yeah.
2 of those 4 currently work for the
Wow.
same school district. Like,
wow. Oh my goodness.
But it is kind of funny how many people ask if we're married. Like, yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm like, it depends on how pretty the person who's asking is, you know. I'm like, she's my sister, you know. Shit, good thing I got this background. I almost got something thrown at me.
So the bus through the
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But so double check your stuff, man. Like,
yeah.
Pay attention, man, because
Wow.
yeah, seriously, I'm like,
you can't just be sending emails to just oh, that's the right last name. That's a unique one.
Because then Alicia's reading this, and I'm like, well, I don't think I went to that one or that one. And the other funny thing about this situation is I emailed this department. I emailed this department earlier in this calendar year or like last school year at some point, and said, like, hey, I'm pre-service teacher right now. I'm going to be going into full-time, next year or whatever. I've been to like half of these. Am I going to need to like do the other ones or what's going on? And they never replied to me. Never sent me a reply. Like, not even a we'll look into it.
Wow.
And now they, wasted Alicia's time.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
It is.
Wow. Check the details, folks.
Check your details.
All right. My Wikipedia history is not very long. I don't know. I just haven't been on there, I guess. So I've got this. Jozo Tomasevich was the featured article one day. I think they're random. I'm not totally sure because this guy lived from 1908 to 1994, and he was an American economist and historian specializing in the economic and social history of Yugoslavia. I don't know why this came up, but he's born in the Kingdom of Dalmatia. So that was the next article that I went to, which was kind of interesting. Somehow out of the Kingdom of Dalmatia, I think I ended up at Francis II, Holy Roman Emperor, who was an interesting looking fella. He was the last Holy Roman Emperor. Because he was that until 1806, when, that wasn't a thing anymore. So he was also king of Hungary and Croatia and Bohemia, which now is, I don't know what that one is.
Well, Hungary still exists.
Czech Republic? Yeah. So Hungary still exists. Yeah. And he was the first president of the German Confederation, which we all know how that turned out. And then I haven't really been on there since then. I was on there and I looked up The Wayfaring Stranger because I was thinking of folk songs. And you ever heard that one? It's in the movie 1917. And you should listen to it, The Wayfaring Stranger. Burl Ives actually had like the most popular version of that. Yeah, the Christmas song Burl Ives.
Burl Ives.
Yeah. Wow. So, but like Johnny Cash has one. Basically, everybody has their own version of The Wayfaring Stranger. It's pretty good. It's a good one. It's kind of, I'm surprised that it's an American folk song because it sounds kind of Irish. But anyways, and then I was looking up magnetic resonance imaging because I saw a little YouTube video about how cool MRI is, and I was like, oh, I want to read about MRI. So I looked it up. Do you know how MRI works? It's pretty crazy.
So I've watched a video about how it works, and it confused the hell out of me. But so basically, the electromagnet reverses the electrons or something in the water molecules inside your body, and it like I don't know. It's really cool.
It reverses the spin because every like
reverses
element, every particle has like elementary particles. Every atom or whatever has a spin. That's like one of the characteristics of every particle. And so it's like basically which direction it's pointing.
Yeah.
And you can detect this spin, but you can also
change it.
You can also change which direction using magnets. And so they use magnets to change a spin to be able to tell like what. Dude, that's beyond me. I've always thought of myself as a pretty smart person, and I read stuff like that. I'm like, how the fuck did you even think of this in like 1960 something?
Yeah.
So wild.
The same thing with quantum mechanics, quantum physics, whatever. Like I consider myself to be fairly, intelligent person and try to learn. I tried to read about quantum. I was just like, okay, whatever, man.
I trust you.
All right, something can be in two places at the same time, and something multiple universes are a possibility of, this reality is only our reality, and that there are infinite realities, like,
and all that from MRI. It's like,
I mean.
So this is sort of.
Have you ever had an MRI?
I have not.
Oh man, you're missing out, man. It's a good time.
No, yeah. Thankfully, I've never had to do that.
Yeah, I've only had two. The one on my back that one sucked. So the one on my back, it was inside. It wasn't in one of those open-sided ones, and I was a little bit fatter than I currently am.
Okay.
So I felt like I was going to get stuck in there.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't. It was just uncomfortable. But
I think they measure.
Yeah,
they stuff you in there. Imagine going through the process of inventing this like crazy machine that like changes the spin of particles in your body, but then not measuring to make sure the person you're putting in there can fit. Like, oh shit.
And how do you determine what size tube you need? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think they expand or something, right?
No, they don't.
They don't?
No.
That's sort of the whole idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
I'm sure on
pretty solid piece
on a quantum level there is one that expands and contracts, but whatever reality I'm living in, it didn't. But the last one I got was of my brain, and so that one they just stick you up to your shoulders, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like down to your nips.
Bad. Yeah.
So
above the strike zone.
They go skull to nips.
Okay.
And that one was pretty cool. Because you get the pictures. So
yeah,
really
those
awesome.
were
so
wild.
I got some awesome photos of my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, did you know that magnet's really strong, and it can, if you are dumb enough to take your gun into the MRI room with you, it can. Yeah, so you didn't hear about this one?
No.
It's probably not on the Wikipedia thing. So this lawyer in, I think it was California, he had his concealed carry permit, and he was getting an MRI, and apparently decided that, removing all metal objects wasn't really something he needed to worry about. And I'm not sure why he was worried about his safety to the point where he needed to concealed carry inside his hospital gown in an MRI machine, but he did, whatever. So the magnet sucked the gun off of him, and then it discharged. And he won himself a Darwin Award.
Did he die?
Yeah.
Dude, what?
Yes. Also, there's a non-zero number of people. I just started using this new phrase today, non-zero
Non-zero.
number.
I do like that one. It's a
Well,
non-zero number.
I told my kids, I'm like, because we had library today, and I have kids who want to try to read while they're walking in the hall. I said there is a non-zero number of people who die every year from not paying attention to where they're walking. Well, we're in school. Yeah, well, you trip and fall down these stairs and die. Like, I'm not, I'm not trying to have that conversation with your parent. Like, they don't pay me enough for that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a non-zero number of people who don't seem to think it's important to let the MRI tech know about certain implant devices that could be magnetic, and they end up learning the hard way.
Yeah. Yikes. That's tough to forget. Yeah. All right. Now I'm just terrified I would ever have an MRI.
Just strip all the way down and, make sure that you got nothing,
no metal going on.
No metal.
Not even a fleck of glitter on it.
No ferromagnetic metal.
Yeah. My next, this is the last few here. I had Shohei Ohtani. I was reading about him, and because after I saw the game, I was like, oh, I need to know about this guy. And then I read about I opened the article list of largest sports contracts, because he's like third all time of like total dollar amount.
Yeah.
And I also read about Lewis Hamilton, who's on that list. It was like the top 50 all time. There's a surprisingly amount of Detroit athletes on that list.
Really?
Yeah. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Miggy, Cade Cunningham, who's a Pistons player, apparently is like on the top 50 of all time total dollar contracts. So kind of interesting, but
wow.
Yeah. The guys that are like signing those massive contracts that are making, like, it showed it by the dollar amount per game, per like event. Mm-hmm. And it's like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi make like $1 million something, couple $1 million per match. It's crazy. Shohei Ohtani is only like in the hundreds of thousands because of, baseball, you're playing 162 games a season. So
and
you're a lot of spread out, but
and a lot of his is deferred money.
It didn't count. It didn't talk about deferred. It was specifically like, what's the total dollar amount divided by the term divided by the number.
And that's not how his contract is working.
I know. I did read about that.
Basically really a deferred. So he's getting like nowhere
$2 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's getting like nowhere near the 700 million until like the end of the contract, basically.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting. Like, a lot of teams will sign guys to these massive deals and then never end up actually paying them most of that, because they get a deferred, they put it on some kind of a deferred thing, and then they trade the guy before he becomes eligible for the deferral income, or he, gets injured and can't finish his career. But in baseball, I think they have guaranteed contracts. So I think like unless they get traded and their contract gets like changed, because obviously a new team will change the terms of the contract, or try to negotiate anyway, like, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So if you see a guy signs for $80 million, he will have $80 million.
I mean, you got to hope. When I was reading about it, because it's $2 million a year for the 10 years of the contract while he's playing. Mm-hmm. And then after the contract, for the next 10 years, it's $68 million a year, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
What's one of the funniest parts of that to me, though, is that $68 million in 10 years or in 19 years from now is worth so much less because of inflation. So like, But
What inflation? I don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. But
The near zero inflation that
the
is,
yeah. The whole time I'm reading about this, I was like, man, he better hope the Dodgers don't go bankrupt. Like, imagine like signing a deal like that back in the early baseball days when baseball clubs are like going out of business, and they just run out of money. Like the Dodgers is just like 10 years, 9 years from now, they're like, you know what? We've won 6 World Series and that's all from us, folks. Just close down.
You got to think in the early days, they weren't signing guys to, much more than like a game to game kind of they would own them, they would own the rights to have them play, but they would only get paid per game that they played in.
Yeah.
I did read though that the Dodgers have fully recouped the $700 million that he's owed already in one and a half seasons. They've already raked in that much money
based on
him
alone. Yeah. Wow.
So he's already earned his keep, which also makes
and now they're going to make interest on all of that too. So they're going to have the interest over the next 10 years and then they'll pay him out of the interest.
So and then that's what kind of makes it sweet as a Dodgers fan to hear all the whining and moaning that goes on around, oh, they bought their champion. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, last time I checked, ain't none of these guys playing for free. So you might as well go out and find the best ones and pay them the most money. And you can get them all to work together on the same team and win a championship. More power to you, you know? Maybe if your owner wasn't so cheap and trying to bilk the taxpayers out of money to upgrade the luxury suites, you could buy yourself a championship too.
Chris Ilitch.
Anybody? I mean, like we took some flack in Cleveland, like from Guardians fans when we went to that game. Oh, you guys, what? Tell your owner maybe instead of blue seats, he should buy players. I don't know. I mean, like, because they literally they did an update to their stadium and they changed their seats from green to blue. Like that was top on your priority list, Cleveland. You thought in the off season, you know what the fans are really going to need to get them to a wild card round? Blue seats.
That's right.
You know what they'll love? We get rid of these green seats and put in some blue seats.
Makes all the difference.
Also, Superman was shot here, so whatever. Like, go buy yourself a championship and tell me how good it feels. Okay? I'm telling you, man. Like, everybody hated the Yankees when they did it, self-included. Now that my team's doing it, I'm like, oh no,
hell yeah, this is great.
We should have done this we should have been doing this all along. Like now that my team's out buying rings, I'm like, oh yeah, now I see the appeal.
And the thing about it is like it's never guaranteed. You still got to play.
Yeah,
the players still have to play the game together. They it still has to work out. Like, and there's all kinds of stuff. Injuries can happen, whatever.
And the Dodgers dealt with their fair share of injuries. I mean, and it's just, you're just mad because it's working.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah. They jelly.
All right. Well, I'll call that an episode.
Yeah, I think
number 10 in the books. Yeah, we got the double digits. We survived it.
Sweet.
This far. Now it's triple digit time.
I gotta get back to grading papers.
Only 90 more to go.
Oh man.
Back to grading papers, 11 o'clock. Geez.
Oh my goodness, dude. Well, it was the last day of the quarter, so I generously gave my students until today to turn in their writing assignment that they've had 10 days to work on. Yeah. So see, so far we got a lot of work to do this year. A lot of work.
3 more quarters left. There you go.
Yep, that's right. And we are definitely down after the first quarter. All right, dude. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.